thank you for staying around, and thank you for tuning back in as we make these really important announcements tonight. This marks the end of the Queenstown portion of the 10th edition of the Michael Hill International Violin Competition. We have heard 32 uniquely individual performances and enjoyed the richness of the violin repertoire in the hands of 16 of the world's greatest talents. I believe, and I hope you agree, that each person that we heard is going to have an enjoyable, fruitful career in music ahead of them, and there may just be a few that poke out of that texture and rise to great heights. And when we look at our judging panel this year, the fact that Ning Fang and Dale Baltrop have risen to their heights in their careers, and the fact that we were able to watch them here just makes this quite extraordinary. We saw them when they were children, or nearly. So to the competitors who have traveled in many cases halfway across the earth to come here, we salute you, we give you our thanks. I know that in a short while there'll be an announcement that will leave 10 of you disappointed, but I urge you to remember the words of Sir Michael about when you get knocked down, you pick yourself up, and you'll get knocked down again and you pick yourself up. And it's that perseverance and resilience that will see you through. So please, you can pack a sad for a few minutes, but then get over it. And enjoy the learning that you've had so far, and know that you've got another 5 or 6 days of really enriched development and music making and camaraderie, and we've got a whole lot of wonderful things planned for you. May I start a few thank yous, please, with Mayor Jim Bolt and the Council of this area and the entire Queenstown community for making us feel so very welcome. We enthusiastically and somewhat relieved to know that there's a plan in place to put a framework for all of the cultural endeavors and opportunities and wishes for this district. We're delighted that Three Lakes Trust has commenced, and we're fully behind the idea of having a template for organizations such as ours and colleagues to thrive into the future here. I would like to personally, and on behalf of everyone assembled here, everyone watching, and the violin community in principle, thank Sir Michael and Christine Lady Hill, your family, your children and your grandchildren who've been populating the hall over the weekend. It's your vision and the tone that you set that has created these 10 competitions to be in the warm, inclusive, not pretentious and genuine way that it is. So thank you, Hill family. May I please take a couple of minutes to recognize our major sponsors: Michael Hill International, the ANZ Bank, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Kensington Swan, Villa Maria, and Bailey's. All of our individual competitor sponsors and donors, our prize donors, and our destination and media partners. The Michael Hill International Violin Competition is a registered New Zealand charity. We function and survive nearly solely on the donations and the sponsorship that we receive. So you all and that network are our lifeblood. Thank you very sincerely for supporting us. Host families, and I know that the Queenstown ones are all right here. It's not just a bed and a bowl of cereal in the morning. We know that. We know that you are tour guides and cheerleaders and photographers, hairstylists, makeup artists. In a few moments, you'll be a shoulder to lean on, and you are the competitor's family away from home. Thank you for your generosity and for your wonderful nature. audience. I just got the interesting statistic that it looks like we're hovering around the 100,000 views mark for our stream and across the Facebook. So that's an extraordinary achievement. We're only halfway through, and that's going to ratchet up quite a lot. But I particularly want to pay homage to the live audience members that are here, many of whom have driven hundreds of kilometers or flown over oceans. The fact, and I'm sure the competitors will tell you, that they've got a very warm audience to play to, and they can audibly hear the gasps and the sighs and the applause. That's really magical. So thank you for making the effort. I know it's easier to stay at home, but you miss the excitement. And you miss the coffee, let's be honest about that. We really need to congratulate two amazing artists for 4 days of hundreds of thousands of notes between them, I believe. John Liu and Sarah Watkins, will you please join us? Great things come in small packages. Thank you, John. Really, thank you. And what I'm sure will soon become an internet sensation, local piano accordionist Mark Wilson, you have revolutionized ourselves. Please may I thank the insiders, guides that were sharing with us their knowledge and insights through this, Martin Risley, Andrew Beer, Dean Olding, and Lyle Cresswell. I'd like to acknowledge our artistic advisor, Dean Olding, who always has some brilliant ideas and some very good judgment, and my wonderful board of trustees. I've got 7 of the world's best bosses. Mel Weeks, the consummate coordinator, has been the filter that absolutely everything runs through. So Mel, my huge gratitude, and I'm sure everybody here is grateful for all the amazing work that you do. To the musicians that have looked after our musicians and their instruments, Richard Panting, our luthier, Weitze Hoekstra, the piano tuner, and Justine Cormack, who is our Queenstown host. A very clever broadcast and communications crew, our photographers, Andy Crown, Sheena Haywood, our audio engineer, Adrian Holle from Radio New Zealand Concert, our video and streaming team from JX Live, Andy, Chris, and Scott. I'm sure you're looking forward to getting out of your booth pretty soon. To Mr. Fahrenheit PR, Siobhan, Nyan, and Amber, thank you for telling it like it is in such an enticing way. And to our wonderful media partners, Radio New Zealand Concert and the Violin Channel, and a very warm welcome to Clarissa Dunn and Jeffrey Davies for joining us. Just a few more helpers behind the scene. Penny and Lisa, who kept things running smoothly in the hall at Summit events. The students who volunteered from QRC and SIT. Alana, Sheena, Jill, and Edith for doing all sorts of little things behind the scenes you wouldn't know about. And Jackson Cupid, our very own coffee cart. Because let me tell you, Kiwis take their coffee very seriously. And it's been a wonderful addition, and I'm sorry, Seattle and Paris, but really the best coffee is made here in New Zealand. Okay, I think it's time to do this. I'd like to ask our judges to please join us here on the stage. It's a little bit dark, so if I call your name, please walk in the forward direction. Dale Baltrop from Australia. Clara Jimmy Kang from Germany and Japan. Ning Feng, who in 2005 put us on the map. James Eminis, who I heard called the Roger Federer of the violin world. I've heard that everyone from Canada is very kind, and he's absolutely no exception. Wilma Smith from New Zealand and Australia. Maurizio Fuchs from Uruguay in the United States. Anthony Marwood from the United Kingdom. They've been chaired by Robin Congreve, who I invite to the stage to make the announcements. And I would also very much like to invite our composer this year, Lyle Cresswell, who's going to say a few words.
Thank you. First of all, on behalf of all New Zealand composers, I want to thank the Michael Hill competition for making a New Zealand work an essential part of the competition. It's a unique opportunity for us for the promotion and creation of New Zealand music, and we appreciate this deeply. I want to also thank the performers for putting so much work into playing my piece. They know the music better than I do now. I think some kind of miracle has taken place in these last 2 days. I have written a difficult piece with very precise, detailed notation, and yet we've had 16 performances, all completely different and varied. How does this happen when everything has been so precisely thought out? And they're all wonderful, and I feel very moved. And so thank you very much.
This way, we can get everybody in the light. Stand in the light. Robin?
The prize for the best performance of the New Zealand commissioned work goes to, from Australia, Harry Ward. Come on up, Harry. Got a reticent Australian.
I was going to say, much as it hurts for a New Zealander to give a prize to an Australian, I have great delight. This time.
The 6 contestants that go through to the next round in Auckland in alphabetical order are, from Latvia, Eugenis Chepovitkis.
Will you please come and join us?
From the USA, Hannah Cho. From South Korea, Do Jong Anna Im. From the USA, Eric Tsai. And from Australia, Victoria Wong. And I'll have to swat up out my alphabet, Angela. From China, Angela Sin Ying Chan.
Congratulations, everyone. And so what's next? Next steps is that tomorrow at midday, all of us head up to Auckland. There'll be lots of music making and learning going on. So the 6 that are here will be rehearsing and competing with musicians across, well, the representatives from our major ensembles playing Mozart string quintets. And then the 10 that are not competing will be having workshops, master classes with our judges, and we'll be working in schools in Auckland, enriching the next layer of Kiwi violinists and talent. In case you were wondering, there is good Auckland coffee also, so please don't be discouraged. Please remember to vote for your favorite competitor. You can vote fresh every day if you change your mind. And I wish you all to travel safely on your way home tonight. Thank you for joining us.